Hello, I'm Marci Payne, and I'm a licensed counselor in Missouri and also a self-love coach worldwide. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, self-worth, specifically how to strengthen self-worth. But first, we need to talk a little bit about what self-worth is, what it isn't, how it's different than self-esteem, and what determines self-worth. And then I'll share a few ways to strengthen self-worth and give you at least one next step to follow up on from this video. So first, what is self-worth? Self-worth is a sense of one's own value as a human being, according to the dictionary. I expand on that a little bit and believe that self-worth is knowing your value and worth are innate, inherent, built in, and not based on anything outside of you, which is a little revolutionary. So, because most of the time in our dominant culture, self-worth is, according to popular opinion, is based on some things external, but I believe it is not. That self-worth is not determined by anything outside of us. So that means it's not based on how much money we make, how many sales we had, how many followers we have, nor by how we look, how much we weigh. It's not based on past mistakes or wounds or hurts. And it's also, our self-worth is not based on what others think of us. And a lot of times people get self-worth and self-esteem pretty confused. And self-esteem is really similar to self-confidence, but self-worth is deeper than that. So self-esteem, according to the founder of the Path of Self-Love, which is one of my teachers and mentors, Christina Rilo, says that self-esteem is a strong belief and confidence in your ability to do and be anything. So we can believe in ourselves, yet we can also feel like we are not worthy of happiness, success, or a loving relationship. So self-esteem can be strong. You can feel really confident, but your self-worth can be low. You can still feel like your worth is based on what you do, earn, or prove to others. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So what does determine self-worth? I believe that all humans have innate value and worth. But we do tend to absorb from a young age cultural beliefs, or we also may experience wounds, emotional wounds, family wounds, trauma, which contribute to our feeling unworthy. For example, if someone treats us poorly, we may start to assume that we aren't worthy of being treated with respect. And then we might get in more relationships based on that, and it kind of starts to reinforce itself. But the truth is that nothing and no one can add or take away from our inherent worth. How did I come up with that? Is just something I believe to be true, probably based on also some spiritual truths about what I believe humans to be. So let's get into the thing that you're probably all wanting to know more about: how to strengthen your self-worth. There are probably more than 3 ways, but the most direct way is to start noticing when you're acting or reacting from a feeling of unworthy, so that in that moment or soon after the moment, you can catch yourself thinking, oh, I'm unworthy. This isn't going to work out. I'm never going to get what I want. And you can catch yourself and then shift to the truth that you are worthy, and then take action from that truth. So that's the most direct way. But you can also strengthen self-worth more indirectly. There are lots of kinds of self-love. And if you strengthen the other kinds of self-love, like self-care and self-compassion, over time, you recognize that you are worthy of care, respect, joy, compassion. For example, you could just work on taking better care of yourself in all the ways, not just physically. And over time, that reinforces, gosh, I really am worthy of slowing down for. I'm really worthy of being taken care of taking care of myself, of getting support. And that reinforces the deeper belief that we are worthy. And then Another way to strengthen self-worth is to do inner healing. And of course, because I'm a therapist, I mean working with a therapist that maybe helps you with deep healing parts work, because you can learn to create a very healing space within inside of yourself where you can heal the inner wounded parts that interpreted the trauma or the past hurt as unworthiness. So these are all different ways to strengthen self-worth, and I've probably personally done all of them. So anyways, so what do you do from here? If you're resonating with any of this video and you feel like, gosh, I really not really even sure what I base my self-worth on, then grab a piece of paper, pause this video, and here's a prompt that you can either directly write about in your journal if you journal, or you can just reflect on it sometime later today. Reflect on how you define your self-worth by completing this sentence. I base my self-worth on what? On how much you make, on what others think of me. One of the things clients ask me the most is, well, how the heck do I, determine my self-worth based on anything besides proving it or earning it? And really, honestly, that's what I'm here to do. I feel like that's part of my purpose in this planet, on this world. And one of the things that I've created is self-love groups, especially for women or any of those identifying with the feminine end of the spectrum. And I have a group that is a really short group, but pretty intensive. It's a 5-day self-love program called Redefine Your Worth. And it specifically helps women find clarity and freedom to define their worth on their own terms. You can see the link at the bottom of this page to get more information. When you go to that page, you'll get a lot more information on what's included. And you can either sign up for the wait list so that you get notified when registration opens, or you, if the registration is open, then you, depending on when you're watching this video, you can go ahead and sign up and get more details on dates and what all is included. So I'd love to hear below if you have any questions or what watching this video brings up for you, if whatever you feel like sharing publicly, of course. Anyways, I hope this was useful.